Okay, this is drilling the barrel, ready to insert the brass nut. As you can see, I've got a special little jig made up for this. I'm using a little 3/8 inch cutter. It gets inserted in the chuck. And start drilling. Check the depth of the hole. We don't want it too deep, and I try not to let it go all the way through. If it goes all the way through, then the liquid that I use to glue it will just fall out into the inside of the barrel, which is not what I'm looking for. Next bit will be the gluing. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little nut that I'm going to use. This is a small nut, not a metric nut. It's been actually drilled out and re-tapped with an M6 thread. I'm just going to put some glue on this to hold it in place. This is a jewellery glue, so it sets hard in about 15 minutes. Just going to drop that down into the hole. And make sure it's nicely centered. I've mixed up a glue which is a 2-part liquid plastic. I'm going to inject that using a syringe. This is probably the trickiest part because it's very easy to make a mess with it. The plastic has a very low viscosity until it starts to set. So it flows like water around the nut and it sets hard. And if I do this right, it won't actually go down into the thread. If it does go down into the thread, then I'll just drill it out and re-tap it. I'll have to drill it through anyway after this is all dried, but if I do it right, I won't need to do that. I just have to drill through the bottom and run the tap through the existing hole. Okay, so that's basically it. It forms a nice meniscus, and the surface of it's very shiny, so it makes a good seal as well. When the glue's dried, and we check this by checking the leftovers, make sure it's hard, we're now ready to finish off. So the first thing I do is take the bit out, and I'm going to have to run a thread right through to the centre of the barrel. So I take a suitable drill. In this case, the starting size drill for a M6 tap is a 5mm drill. So I'm actually using a 4.5mm drill. I'm just going to run that down through the centre of the hole. So I haven't moved the whole thing since I started, so the drill's perfectly lined up with the middle of the hole, which hopefully is the middle of the nut as well. So I drop that down through the middle, make a nice clean cut. Once that's done, the whole thing can be taken out and I can run a tap through it. So that's what it looks like. And then it's just a matter of grabbing a M6 tap, and if I do this right, it should just go in by hand. Or maybe not. So that's basically the process, and then I just drive the tap all the way through. Remove the tap, and that should be the job done. The shiny surface there makes a good seal. The O-ring will fit into that sort of conical shape left by the meniscus. And that's it. Ready now to get the piezo barrel. Next step is just to tidy up inside the barrel if I need to with this reamer. Just run that through and just clean off any little bits hanging out on the inside of the barrel.